Ilya Stefanescu for Groundandpound-TV here in LA with the BJJ guru himself, Eddie Bravo. Nice to meet you. Thank you for your time.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you for having me.
Obviously, your style is very different to other fighters, to other BJJ players, so to speak. Not only because of your names for the moves and so on. How did it all come together? How did you get into all that?
The style just evolved naturally over the years. It wasn't just like, oh, here's the style. It's all the pieces. They all came together inch by inch, day to day, month to month, year to year. Been doing jiu-jitsu over 20 years now. It's a lifelong style, and it all came from the obsession to have a jiu-jitsu style that would translate to MMA better than any other style. That's all it is. It's just trying to transition from a sport jiu-jitsu to MMA, the most effective, the most firepower, and it basically it means that you have to develop a clinching style. Because that's what you're doing when people are trying to punch you. You have to clinch them to avoid the punches. But now you got to move in the clinch. And that's what the style's all about, is analyzing all the clinches possible, having options for all the clinches possible, breaking down all the clinches, and just putting the pieces together like a puzzle.
That would have been my next question. I mean, how important is BJJ for MMA? Because, there are some people, they are saying like boxing and wrestling and some kind of anti-jiu-jitsu should be enough. What do you say about that?
Well, if you're a black belt world champion in the gi and that's your style, your jiu-jitsu is gonna look a hell of a lot better in MMA than someone who doesn't have any jiu-jitsu. Even someone that's just wrestling their whole life and no jiu-jitsu, you're gonna see it. The difference between 10th planet jiu-jitsu and traditional BJJ is really what the hands are doing and the arms are doing. The feet are doing the same thing. Gi, no gi. The hips are doing the same thing, gi or no gi. The upper, maybe the torso is doing the same thing. So from the torso down, it's the hands and the arms that are doing something different. So most of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, it's the same, except what the hands are doing. And I think it's really significant and it needs to be addressed, and that's what I'm doing.
You're doing a great job as far as we can see. Another thing that I wanted to ask is there are always rumors, you and the Gracies, that there is a feud. What's the truth behind all that?
There's no feud at all with me and the Gracies. Possibly me and Hoyce. He's the only one that seems to have a problem with me, but I don't have a problem with anybody else in the Gracie family.
Nick Diaz. I think you know what happened with him and the big suspension, 5 years. What's your opinion on all about that because of marijuana?
Well, it's so ridiculous that a senator from Nevada is being public about how ridiculous the sentence was. So that's all you really need to know, that politicians are getting involved. That was ridiculous.
I mean, people are complaining, if you compare it to some other fighters that got popped for steroids, Anderson Silva, for example, didn't get that much punishment in comparison. So why do you think is that?
Obviously, the guy who made the decision is not a stoner, so I think it's probably a hate for the sacred plant.
So, talking about the secret plant, do you think it should be banned in sports? Does it enhance performance, or what do you say about that?
Protein enhances performance, water enhances performance, marijuana also enhances performance. There's a lot of things that enhance performance that are legal. Should marijuana be legal? Absolutely. It's curing cancer. It's saving babies from seizures. I mean, you know how miraculous a drug has to be to go from Schedule 1 to being legal? It has to be a million light years beyond just neutral or safe, or it's got to be miraculous, and for it to be legalized. Nothing gets legalized, but that plant does. So
the last question, I know you need to go to teach your class. You're always active, as we can see, always training. The last time you're in shape, the last time we saw you at Metamoris. What does the future bring? Will we see you back in action, or is there any opponent you would like to face? Tell us about it.
I'm looking into back surgery right now. I got my L5 disc is smashed and squashed and needs to be replaced. I got to look into that and get my back to being 100% before I think about competing.
Then thank you very much. Get well, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you.